back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So it's day 298, almost at the big 300 days. And it's Tuesday, and this is meant to be the day that I give my emotional, straight from the heart advice to my son if I die, which everyone seems to love. People seem to like the one about booze. Maybe the one about women and drugs was a little bit more off the mark. Who knows? I don't know. I just talk. But I've had a busy week this week and I haven't been able to come up with any advice. I didn't know what subject to tackle. To be honest with you, when I was doing the drug one last week and how hard that one was to really think about how I felt about drugs and how I would want my kid to approach it. I knew when I was doing that, I was like, next week's advice can go fuck itself. I'll be back with advice for my son if I die next week. I don't know what topic I'm going to do next. I was thinking maybe education. I was thinking maybe work, travel. I don't know. Eating, food. I'm not too sure. Because after alcohol, drugs, and women, my fucking expertise really drop off a cliff. And here's something you need to know about me. I usually do things to make my life easier, and they eventually make my life much, much harder. I try and take shortcuts through like mountainous terrain. I'm an idiot. That's what I'm trying to say. And if I'm going to be honest here, the second I said, this is a new segment I'm going to be doing, it's advice for my son if I die, I'm going to do it every Tuesday. When I said every Tuesday, I did the quick math in my head. I'm like, that's 52 weeks. That's 52 bits of advice. That's like 5 hours of advice. I don't even know if it's 5 hours of advice. Honestly, I just did the quick math in my head then, and I'm redoing the math now. I don't know, maybe it's like 4 hours of advice. I have no idea. Do you really need advice from someone who can't work that out? Anyway, I'll start it again next week. Maybe I'll make it fortnightly. Maybe I'll just do it when inspiration strikes. Maybe I'm going to have to rename the segment. Instead of advice for my son if I die, I'm going to have to call it mistakes I've made, because I could definitely do 52 of those. Maybe that can be Wednesday. Mistakes I've made. Another segment I'm going to do for fucking 2 weeks and completely run out of steam. I don't think I could run out of steam with mistakes I've made. All right, here's one that just popped into my head. I can't even believe I remember it. All right, this is what happened. When I was younger, this is when I was like year 7 or year 8. This is fucking embarrassing, actually. Oh, this is embarrassing. I needed to rub one out and I had no moisturizer, so I went to my mum's room and swiped a bottle of what I thought was moisturizer. And so I did the deed, and then like a couple of hours later, I go to take a piss and I look at my dick and it's completely fucking brown. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I read the bottle and it's like self-tanning lotion, and I didn't know what the fuck that was. Then instead of putting the bottle back and just pretending it never happened, I was like, tanning lotion? So it turns your legs brown? And for some reason, I don't tan at all. I burn and peel. So I started using the fucking tanning lotion on my legs, and I'd roll into school and I'd be like, hey lads, look how brown my legs are. And it would literally be orange, and I'd peel my sock back to show my mates for some reason how much I was gunning my tan, and it would be like fucking ghost white. My ankle would be ghost white and my legs were like fucking orange. I really had fucking mental health issues the whole time, didn't I? Anyway, so yeah, that segment probably could last a while. So I did a gig tonight in Bondi Junction. I closed the night, and you know what? A listener of the podcast came out. Richard, Big Rich, Big Dick. He came out. He came out to support Boyle Comedy. And that's a lot more than I can say for the rest of you. What are the rest of you doing? Richard lives fucking 5 hours away. He has 2 kids. He has a wife. He neglected all of them to get to Boyle's show. And you know what? It was fucking worth it for him. Because not only does Richard now go down as my first ever actual fan to come to a gig, he also got to see an absolute fucking masterclass of comedy genius. He'll agree. He'll agree with that. I didn't need to ask him. Except the middle part. The middle part was a little flat. But the fucking start, oh, and the end, oh, he'll agree. Most comedians don't blame the crowd. I blame them 100%. If I don't do well, it's on you. No, it went all right. I spoke to Richard after the show. He said he enjoyed it. But he also said this. He's like, how did you feel it went? I'm like, you motherfucker. Because that's what comedians say to other comedians when they fucking bomb. You're like, how do you reckon that went? How did it feel to you? All right, that's it for tonight. Thanks, Richard, for coming out. The rest of you really need to take a good hard look at yourselves and ask yourselves this question. Am I doing enough for Boyle? What more could I be doing for Boyle? All right, that's it. Add me on social media. I'm Boyle Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you're enjoying the podcast, rate, review, subscribe to it. Tell your friends about it. That's the cool thing. That's the cool thing to do. And I'll see you the fuck later.